Oh,
Achievement unlocked.
meeting of minds. Yep. Oh, but we're going back in time.
Dr. Lau, you have a visitor.
Oh,
Good evening, Doctor.
She wasn't sleeping.
hello. And you are... Surely you recognize him.
No.
His name's
I'm
not
afraid
Shirley.
you'll have to enlighten me. This is
He's-
Dr. Vargas, the Central
Yeah,
Operations
He's a
Coordinator.
very famous guy.
Now, Galatea, there's no need to be quite...
Galatea. It's
The
a
fact that
nice,
I'm not
nice
widely recognized
name reference right there.
perhaps indicates how successful we are.
Yes, you're right, Father. Vargas? Dr. Eduardo Vargas?
Is this the part where she bows down?
Dr. Lau.
What brings you from the Fulcrum Tower, sir?
The most grave matter, I'm afraid. One I believe
yeah,
you specifically
yeah.
to be most suited to handle.
Oh, are we
Shall
gonna
I
play as
have it?
Lau?
Please do,
Yes.
Galatea.
We are.
Central,
Excellent.
I believe the audio EM capture system in this room to be faulty.
Yeah, we're
Please run a
gonna
deep
learn more
diagnostic on the
about
system.
Vargas
Certainly, Miss Vargas.
later in the game
Beginning
as well.
scan.
This is the first
We have
time he
perhaps
kind
2
of
minutes
shows
until
up
the
in the
diagnostic
game.
cycle is complete.
Dr. Lau, have you heard of a gentleman by the name of Baxter?
Ooh, intrigue.
Yeah, yes we
Dr.
have.
Adam Baxter, convicted murderer and a brilliant engineer in his time. Yes, I've heard of him. My partner had a history with him. His parole hearing and eventual release really got to Dr. Regis.
Quite so, poor Viksha. I don't think Charlie ever got over it.
I wonder
And
what Baxter
unfortunately,
actually
It
did.
appears that he's taking
We
things
still haven't
into his
found
own
out.
hands.
Dr. Lau, when did you last see Dr. Regis? Last night, before Central went into siege mode. Why? What's happened?
This morning, Dr. Baxter was found dead in his workplace.
I'm okay with this.
Uh-oh.
I share your concern.
But we haven't
Dr.
seen
Lau.
Charlie
Central
since
believes
then.
Dr. Regis to be the most likely suspect.
Hmm.
He would have known that Central would be unable to provide oversight during the siege.
And he had no
Yes.
shortage of motive, as I'm sure you'd agree.
But Charlie
Well,
couldn't
he
have
did
done
leave
it.
with a gun.
You have a connection
Yeah,
to
he
Regis as
cocked
well?
that pistol
Quite so.
right before he
worked
left.
for me in a research team.
And he was
did
recording
Baxter
a,
in the same project.
If
And
you hear this, it
Victor
means they
Regis.
got me
Precisely.
message.
We lost half of the team in one fell swoop that day.
It just doesn't sound like him, though. He
I would
had
have
other
asked about
outlets,
Central's
like
feed.
his garden.
I don't fully
Um,
agree with Central's
I
assessment either.
think we get to
That
ask
is
about
why
that anyway.
I'm activating you on this case.
You want me to investigate Baxter's murder with my partner as the prime suspect? Isn't that a pretty serious conflict of interest?
It is
Yeah,
within
isn't
my
it?
prerogative to select agents I feel appropriate for casework, if necessary. Using it to aid an old friend, a good man, like Charlie Regis, I think that's worthwhile.
Remember
They
that your
all kinda have
primary
personal
responsibilities
stakes
are to
in
the
this.
law and to this city.
Which seemed
Yeah,
to...
so that's why they
You're the
cut Central's
controller
feed.
of Central
Yeah,
Operations.
yeah.
Why would you need to cut the camera feed with a trick like that? I apologize, but for the sake of city security... Yeah, can't tell me, classified, ultraviolet A, etc.
I'm glad you understand.
I can understand,
Central
but
wouldn't
I'm not
agree
happy
with
about it. Noted,
what we're
Dr.
talking
Lau.
about, basically.
I think I've heard enough.
That's good to hear. I'll have Galatea email the case data to you. If I can be of any further help, don't hesitate to drop by my office.
At the top of the Fulcrum Tower. Make an appointment beforehand.
Diagnostic cycle of monitoring systems complete. No wetware
Now-
or firmware anomalies detected. However, please ask Dr. Regis to stop obstructing the lens assembly.
Wish you luck with your work, Dr. Lau.
So, I'm pretty sure we actually can go to his office, but I don't. Oh well.
Okay.
Oh well. I think it's
Are
just...
you not going to have Lau
Top of the line
interact with
interfacing wetware.
use
Pricey
wetware
stuff,
on
but I
synth?
claim it as a work expense.
I don't think using the wetware on the synth does anything, actually.
Aw.
Because I'm pretty sure she's just still powered down, so... There's,
I'd appreciate if it faded to black. Just if it just kept black for a few seconds and went back to normal.
Oh yeah, so the laser paper stone there is it's rock paper scissors,
No answer.
but it's also a like
She's expensive. I wonder
it's a
if I
joke
can
at the
persuade
expense
Regis
of
to let
free-to-play
us keep
games.
her. Got to wait till the
because
AI
the way that it
has
works
their
is
turn analyzing
you
it.
get 10
Then she's all
uses
mine.
of each rock paper laser item. And
Right.
after you use up all 10 of those, it says, oh, you have to wait 1,600 seconds before you can play again. Or you can buy yada 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 to get your uses back. And it's like, oh, you cheeky game.
Well, good thing that doesn't die out by 2080, whatever this was.
2087, yeah. Yeah. We got an attachment there that I don't think I down to it yet. Okay.
Nice timing.
Yeah. That's
Ow! Hey, what was that?
it's another case file for our new case that we're going to be following up on. I don't know
I'd be
why.
so scared to download things into my head, not gonna lie.
I don't know why Charlie sent us an email that... Oh! Actually, I do know why Charlie sent that email. Depending on what the time, like the date of that email is, I don't remember what it is. But I'm not going to spoil that, because that's a spoiler for the puzzle that we're going to be doing next video.
Aww.
Yeah. And his, allows, her dad sent an email to her, I think that was.
Well, it was her... I think
Our
my
brother.
dad and brother, I couldn't tell.
It was Edward Lau, so it was either her dad or her brother.
Yeah.
I didn't reread the...
And he said, I don't care what mom said, so I think it was brother.
Yeah. So we're reading through the secondary case file that we got now. We got to figure out what happened to Charlie, because he's disappeared, and Baxter turned up dead, and that's not good.
I'm okay with that.
Well,
I'd like to know why his brain shunt didn't work.
Well, yeah. We have to figure out what happened with Baxter and why he suddenly ended up dead, and he ended up dead in quite a gruesome manner, as we will see next video as well.
That's lovely.
Yeah. We don't... So yeah, we have Fulcrum Tower there. I never bothered to actually try to visit it, which I think is an oversight on my part, but oh well.
Well, I would have gone to crime scene first, too.
Yeah,
Wow,
like it
that's a lot of
makes more
doing.
sense.
Excuse me.
Great, they finally sent someone. You here to get the body out?
Maybe. I'm Max Lau, cell case specialist.
No kidding. I'm the lab director, Dr. Zvidzai Chigwa. Make it quick, I'm busy.
What's your role here?
I'm the supervisor for the telepresence factoring labs. Most of it's automatic. I just make sure it's all running like it should.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
It's a lousy job most of the time.
Are you making
TP
jokes,
is where
Lau?
management sticks people they don't want in public-facing roles.
You're not happy with it?
For the last few years, my career has been one disaster after another. I'm just glad it's plateaued into some kind of stability.
Can you tell me what
So
happened?
she
Baxter
used to
got
work with
killed.
Any more detail?
When we
Vargas
started this
and
afternoon, a whole lot of
Charlie
samples had been
and
tampered
all
with.
of them
We tried
as
to call
well,
Baxter to find out what the hell was going on in the specimen bank.
And he didn't answer.
which we will
He didn't. Turned out the door to the specimen
learn
bank was
in
locked
this
too.
dialogue
You haven't
tree, I
seen the
think.
body?
No, not in person, if that's what you mean. We got the camera feed online, but it was obvious that Baxter wasn't going to be coming out.
How
When did you last
obvious.
Guess it could have been.
Do you want me to spoil it?
So he could have been
Yeah, go ahead.
any time
He doesn't
in the
have a
last
head.
3 days?
I
Excellent.
guess, but it wouldn't fit with everything else.
So it's not quite as bad as the end of Vanderwall.
No,
What's the purpose of
not
this
quite
lab?
as bad, but still pretty
It's a
bad.
no. It's a TP
Was he
lab.
killed by the,
There's a lot of
by
research
wetware
that's
that was
not
reformatted by that
exactly
memory stick?
legal in some
Um,
countries.
But in Newton, pretty much anything goes.
Am I metaing this too much?
If someone in the EU
Well,
wants research done on
I
something
can't
hazardous,
answer that because I
infectious, or
don't know what the
endangered,
cause of his death
they
is
send
yet.
orders here, and we
Oh,
carry
fair
out
enough.
the testing.
I have
What
not
sort of
figured that
research?
out yet.
Mostly we
Where
make new
at the point I've
angiosperms
gotten
from
in the
scratch.
game.
That's flowering plants to you.
Gee, thanks.
Thanks,
Why
Chiqua.
would people want new flowers?
Sometimes it's a drug delivery method. The earliest commercial examples were fruit that grew packed with insulin. A lot of new wetware begins its life as engineered fruit too.
Huh.
Must be awkward if they cross-pollinate in the wild.
And a legal headache.
I think.
Part of our job is making
All
sure
that
the
legality.
copy protection works.
Paperwork,
Copy protection in plants?
bureaucracy, hell.
Aside from yourself, who else works in this laboratory?
We've already gone
There's
through
my
Beyond
intern,
Atlantis. We know the hell that is
operates the
bureaucracy.
factoring
Exactly.
line. If you meet him, it's easy to see why they put him in here. And until recently, there was Dr. Baxter.
Tell me about Mr. Neester.
He came over from Eurofed.
We're gonna meet Mr. Neester
He's
next video.
Well, he's young. I
He's
guess we're all like that in our youth.
Oh, great.
Good
Yeah,
call.
he's very
all right.
interesting
He got on
young
board
man.
with that annoying Maladist trade. He knows how to follow instructions, so I let him get on with it.
His visa still active?
Dr. Lau, we do not employ undocumented illegals in this lab.
Just have
Ooh.
to check. I'm sure you understand. Tell me about Dr. Baxter.
Oh, he was bad enough to work with in the 60s. As part of his
Yeah,
parole, they
see,
stuck a
so
governor
she used
in his
to
head.
work with Baxter.
Since then, it's like talking to a
20
badly
years.
written synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care for him a great deal,
That man killed Vicky. Frankly, he deserved what he got.
but you still
Oh.
work with him.
He worked for me. It was another part of his parole. Vickerman's management persuaded
And that's why it's
centralized
plateaued, 'cause
government
finally
his
he
skills were
died.
going to waste in prison. The company wanted him supervised by someone who knew him. Hence, they dragged my sorry ass in.
What did you have him doing?
He organized the specimen bank. It's the kind of thing we could just leave him at for hours on end. Days, sometimes. Really, it could have just been done by the facility's AI, but I had to give him
We're gonna
something.
hear
Otherwise, you have to talk to him.
Exactly.
from yeah, we're gonna hear
You've got a keen
from
mind. What's your take on this?
maybe
Hey, I'm
her,
not the
but definitely
detective, young
Neester.
lady. You know what I
That
think?
Baxter
I think
rarely
we
left
just did what they ought to
his
have done 20
post
years ago.
in this
Why do you say that?
this kind of
Seems
biodome
logical. We got
area.
him coming into the labs on security, then we got him coming out an hour later. When we get
Uh-oh.
here, we've got Baxter's corpse
It
contaminating
looks
the
really bad for
specimen bank.
Regis.
Anything else?
Yeah,
Well, something
it's very
strange.
incriminating.
Since we got in, we keep finding samples that have been tampered with. Looks like he
Oh.
spent his hour here messing up the genomes of our specimens.
That quickly?
I wonder why he
If
would have done
anyone was
that.
good enough to do it that fast, it'd be Charlie.
But why come?
You knew Regis as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was on a research team with him and his wife back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Baxter, too.
That's
You've
the right
apparently known
question.
him a long time. Does this seem like something Regis would do?
Oh, after what he did to Vicky, I'd have strangled Baxter, too. I tell you, if he did do it, I wouldn't blame him one bit.
Do you think he did it, though?
I don't know. He was always kind of shady.
Tell me about it.
They made him do some
That's not nice.
awful
He's-
stuff out in the hot zones.
I mean-
Such as...
Let's just say his escape led to a whole lot of people being jailed for war crimes.
It's not like he's
Oh, boy.
unhinged or
You seem
anything.
preoccupied.
That obvious, huh? We found a couple of specimens that Regis tampered with in his hour here. So I gotta run through the catalog and dig out the backups.
Sounds straightforward.
Not when there's 11,000 samples to take. Oh, I could punch Regis for this. Though, I want to shake his hand for Baxter so it kinda evens out.
Lovely.
What's been done to the samples?
Yeah.
He's used a customized viral vector to add huge amounts of junk DNA to their genomes.
Is
These
this
are the
all
last two I
like
found,
a great
Media
big
Florens and
hint for a
Terensis,
future
and
puzzle we do
Venetia
as Regis?
Lawsonis.
May I
No,
have a look?
this is all
Think
a
it'll help?
huge hint for
Just
the
a
puzzle that
hunch.
we're going to be doing as Lau.
Fair enough.
So we hear
Nine?
that there is an
Why
audio
data string?
What do you
stream
mean?
in
My wetware systems
in that
are
DNA.
interpreting the genomes of these plants as sections of an audio file. He's
Oh.
used the DNA to store
Yes.
information.
You think so?
It's incomplete. The two samples only make up a third of the data. But M and L, my initials? This can't
That's
be
another
coincidence. He's left a message.
What does it say?
Not sure yet. I could
Oh,
probably
6. We need to find
construct a whole message
A,
if I can find where he's
X,
hidden the
and
rest of it.
AO.
Safe to say it's in the other plants.
You
it's
figured that out
Here,
way
take
faster
this.
than I
You can
did.
sample DNA from the plants around the lab. If you run out of sampling cartridges,
I
you
didn't
can
figure
reload
out
with
that it
this
was
console.
her
Thanks.
full
How
name
long would it take to
until I
sample
had
everything in
the
the lab?
last piece that I had to
Only
get.
a couple of years.
You're killing me,
Over
man.
11,000 subjects.
Don't worry,
That was
I-
really obvious.
Don't worry, I figured out the
Gaps in
puzzle
clue
like
you left.
no problem. But I didn't figure
Okay,
out
good.
that I didn't figure out that it spelled
So
out
you worked
Max
with Regis
Lau
and his wife,
until
as well
I
as
only
Baxter.
had the last one
Did
to
you
get.
also work for Dr. Vargas?
Because I wasn't actually,
well.
I wasn't
Yeah, I
paying
worked
attention
for
to
him.
how like
You
the
don't care
letters
for him.
were laid
He was
out
a
in
competent
the
researcher, but he
DNA
lives
sampler.
for politics. Everything was always about making the world a
Hold on,
better
hold on.
place.
Who's she talking about right now?
And you don't think it should be better?
It's a nice idea, just not realistic. And
I
what
agree
we
with her,
ended
but who's
up
she talking
making,
about?
It was actually never mind.
I think they're talking
What
about
happens in the specimen?
It's where
what
the
Vargas
samples
had
of
them
plants
do
and
back
growth
in the
matrices
60s,
are
I think.
stored. There's a huge
Okay.
library of subjects to
Vargas,
work with,
okay.
natural
Yeah,
and
which
man-made.
we will figure
And
out.
that's where Baxter worked?
Like, we'll find
Yeah,
out what
it's
that
not
was
exactly taxing.
very, very
I
shortly.
wanted to see what he
after,
could do since they put a governor
This
in him.
section with
You
Lau.
left him to work alone in there?
I'll be honest, he was not a pleasant man to talk to.
Even after the governor was.
Have you found
into
anything
his
else
head.
with cytogenetic data?
As a matter of fact, I have. There was a batch of Orchidaceae isotria in the growth
So this
lab,
is the-
and
And
This is what tells us
can't
like
remember exactly
what other
which
specimens we
specimen
have to
the
actually
other
look
was.
for.
I do remember
Yeah.
that it had yellow flowers,
So Orchidacea
broad
dash
leaves, and produced long fruit.
Is the
yellow flowers, long leaves, long fruit.
yes, which means that we have to examine
CI detect Baxter's vitals
plants.
suddenly failing.
Okay.
It's a potentially
That's fine.
hazardous environment in here.
I bet it changes from game to game, like whatever you have to
This
look for.
afternoon, we noticed the monitoring system in the sample lab
I don't
was
think
in
so.
recursion. All hell broke
But it was,
loose
like,
when the
spaced
CI
out
suddenly
weirdly.
realized what had happened.
I mean,
So
it could
either
be,
you've got a
but
technical fault with the
yeah, well, yeah,
software
the
or
plant that you
interface,
have to find
Which is
might
unlikely
change.
given
Yeah.
how much they cost.
or
Because
someone breached the
this one is
security
actually
systems to
really
cover
simple.
Baxter's murder.
I get
That
the
gives me
first
more hope.
sample at the
Regis
end
would
of
have
this
no
video.
idea how to do that.
I'm very pleased that she said that because now I feel a bit
What sort
better
of
about
research were
Regis.
you conducting in the 60s?
Yeah.
Being with Charlie
Oh,
and
yeah.
his wife, you might not
Like
know
it does make sense
we were
that
the people behind Central.
Charlie would be
Central? The city
solely
governing
responsible
AI
for all of
Central?
this.
The same. Newton was looking for
Oh
a
no.
coordinator AI.
So
Vargas put
Regis was
together a
married
team
to the
including
girl
the
who
new
made
Mr. and Mrs.
Central.
Regis.
Vargas put together a team.
Regis never mentioned anything about
Yeah.
It wasn't a happy memory for him. He left after the unpleasantness. We finished
Which
the
is
project
very,
a few months later.
this. Might explain why
simple
police
way of
search
putting it.
threats.
Oh dear.
I wonder
Yeah.
why Regis hid a message inside the DNA of these plants.
DNA's been used as a data storage medium before. Rather than on-off binary, DNA would be quaternary bits. Adenine, guanine,
I was gonna say-
thymine, and cytosine.
I actually was
He
gonna
just
say, like,
left a
DNA is,
message
like,
on one of the
four-
systems, though.
four-digit
Written on paper.
Then
So, like,
someone could have destroyed
quaternary
or erased
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Short of burning down the entire lab, they'd have no way to be sure they destroyed a message hidden.
So he
like this.
he had a
Especially
message
since
for
he
us.
scrambled so many of the other samples as camouflage.
He needs to make sure it's found, and based on the layout, he wants me to find it.
Oh yeah.
Is that all?
For now.
Then if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
So we have a big puzzle that we have to solve in this this area, and
This sounds really exciting. I'm pleased.
this plant right here is a
Oh.
yellow flower with
If I
broad
start
leaves
taking
and long
every
fruit.
single specimen, I'll be here for days.
So the one literally right next
It's
to
the
her
DNA sampler Dr.
is
Chigwood gave me.
the
I
first
need
one
to
that we
take
have to
samples from
sample.
plants I think Regis
Nicely placed.
Yeah. Which actually does make me think that the that second one that she mentions
taken a
probably
DNA sample
changes
from it.
when you like start a new game. It's probably like a random selection.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a very complex audio file to figure out, and it was going to take me a while, so I was not going to do it at the end of this video.
It's the DNA.
When
I
there
need
was
to
already
take-
so
Well, I
much,
suppose that's sensible.
yeah, when there was already so much like dialogue and everything. But to upload the samples to the sequence, we have to actually use the genome sampler that Chigwa is kind of walking around.
Right.
So we'll do that next time.
I like this puzzle.